Welcome back to Just Scribble. Today we are going to unbox something very new and very different for my channel and for me. So if you've been around for a while, you probably noticed that I never use ring planners. I actually have used ring planners in the past and I did like them okay, but they've never really been my favorite planner style, mostly because I find them to be quite bulky. The rings themselves are just very, very bulky, and so I find it kind of difficult to write in a ring planner and to have nice handwriting in a ring planner because I kind of bump up against the ring when I'm trying to write, and they're bulky in my bags because the rings don't really squish down or anything, and so they're kind of chunky and thick, and I'm not really a super chunky planner girl. And I found that when I want the flexibility of rings to be able to put inserts in and take them out and move them around and add sections and decor and all those kinds of things, disc planners generally have worked better for me because I can fold them back on themselves, and so I don't notice the discs as much as I notice the rings. But I do really like the functionality of a ring planner, and when I see other people's ring planners all set up and them holding them and opening them and flipping through them, I definitely am drawn to them. But I do know that a ring planner, a standard ring planner like with the 25 and 30 millimeter rings, isn't really for me. But for the last year or year and a half, I have seen some people posting about their plotter, which is a ring binder system, on Instagram, and I was really drawn to it. But I kind of held off on buying one because I wanted to make sure that it was something I really wanted, because they are a little pricey, so it is an investment, and I wanted to make sure that it really was for me. So over the past couple months, I've been really looking at people's posts and videos on Plotter to see if their binder system, their ring planner system, would work for me. And I decided that I did want to take the plunge, and I did want to buy a Plotter, and I did want to set one up, and I did want to share it with you guys. So a couple of things that drew me to the Plotter, and I'll talk to you about that as I pull out everything that I bought, is that they are leather, full grain leather, which you guys know I love full grain leather products. And they are very very slim. So the ring mechanism that's in a Plotter planner is a Krause ring mechanism. So it's, you know, the top of the line, this gold standard for ring mechanisms. And they are 10 millimeter ring mechanisms. So they are really narrow. And because of that, when you hold a Plotter, it's similar to holding a bound book. It feels in your hand like a bound book feels in your hand. And because the rings are so small, they don't get in your way in the same way when you're writing as a large ring planner does. They're very slim for throwing into your bag, which is one of the things that I don't like about a traditional ring planner, is the chunkiness in my bag. And they also push you towards being very functional and minimalistic because you can't chunk them up. You can't add a lot of decor and a lot of the things inside them. So I watched videos on them. Like I said, I checked out some Instagram posts, like I said, and decided for my birthday and my YouTube anniversary month, I would invest in a Plotter and try it out. Now, the reason that I bought this system is actually because I'm going to be changing up my social media planner system, and I decided that this binder system would be the perfect fit for what I need for the functional aspect of my social media planner. So that's actually what I bought it for, and that's actually what the larger of the two are for. But because I was ordering, and because I really love passport size notebooks, I wanted to try their mini size, which is not their smallest size. They actually have an M5 with a 5 ring, and it's even smaller, but this is their mini size. So I decided to get a mini size as well. So we're gonna open those up, but first I want to share some of the accessories that I bought. They do have planner inserts and like paper inserts. The inserts are actually kind of cool, like they're plain notebook paper style that are like grid or dot grid or lined and stuff, because they're glued on the edge, and so you can just tear off the number of pages that you want, and then you can store that little sort of bound notebook for when you need it later. And so I thought that that was kind of cool, but I didn't buy any of that because although I did spend quite a bit of money to buy these, because I did want this minimal small binder and because I wanted the leather and all of that, I did spend a lot of money on that. I didn't want to spend a ton of money on like the inserts and the guts. I wanted to do printables so that way I could use a lot of free printables from a lot of shops to save money, and also to allow me to kind of figure out my system and customize it, and also to support some small businesses. And I also wanted to lean more on undated inserts than dated inserts so that I could use them year over year if the system does work out for me. But I did buy a couple of their other accessories, and so I thought I would share those with you guys. They do have others that I'm not sharing with you guys that I didn't order. Like they do have a dashboard similar to this that has a pen loop on it, and they have it in all of their different sizes. But the pen loop thing was really, really long, and I know it wouldn't work well with all of my pens. And so I decided instead I'm going to attempt to make something on my own, or I will attach one of my Paper Republic magnetic pen loops to it. And so I'm going to do something else for a pen. But I did buy their band lifter. So let me show you that. So I bought them in 3 different sizes. Now, obviously, I only have 2 of the plotter notebooks here. That's because I do have something coming from a small shop on Etsy that is a similar system, and I have it coming in the A5 size. And so I bought this to use in that. But they have this band lifter, and so it's basically like a really, really thin dashboard. And then it has this elastic on it. It comes out the top and wraps around and closes your binder. So kind of like a traveler's notebook, but instead of coming out of the side spine or the back, it comes out the top and then it wraps around. So I did buy those in all 3 sizes, and we will put these 2 in my new binders. And then in the tiny size, I bought this little ruler sort of dashboard thing, just because I think I might want this as a little divider in that system. So I bought that. And then for both of these, and also for the ones that I ordered on the Etsy shop, I did get these ring supporters. These are made out of leather, and they go around the rings, and I'll show you because we're going to install them together. They go around the rings, and it prevents the rings from making an impression on the outside of your leather cover. So it's just kind of to protect the exterior leather of your binder. It'll, I think, make more sense though when we install them. So I did buy a few accessories, but I didn't buy all of them. They do have more. I will put links to their shop down below in case you want to check them out. And this is a Japanese planner system, or it's not a planner system, I guess, a Japanese binder system, but they do have a USA site as well. It's Plotter USA, and I believe that it ships to North America only. So I know people in Europe were saying like they were having trouble getting these because the Plotter USA shop doesn't ship there, and shipping from the Japan shop was an issue. But there is a stationery shop in the US called Atlas, and they do sell plotter. Now they don't sell all of the leathers, but they do sell one of the leathers in all of the sizes, and they do sell the accessories, and they do ship internationally, like to Europe. So if you do like these and you're watching my channel and you wanted one, but you're not in North America or a place that the Japan shop, the main website, ships to, you could definitely go onto Atlas's site, and I'll put that in the links down below, and you could use them and shop there. So I do have 2 plotters here. So they offer these in 4 different sizes. So they have the mini 5, which is smaller than this one. They have the mini, they have the Bible, which is this one, the one I bought, and then they have an A5 size. And like I said, I do have an order coming from an Etsy shop that sells a similar product. So when that gets here, it has already shipped. I will be sharing that with you guys as well. I did order the A5 size from them and not from Plotter. And then I actually ordered another one that's in a size that I think is the same as this small mini size. Partly because I wanted to check out the size difference, and partly because this is close to passport size, which is a size I carry in my purse all the time. And so I think I'd get a lot of use out of this size. So since I was already paying shipping and everything from their shop overseas, I thought I would go ahead and order 2 covers. And then I ordered a few other things from their shop as well. So I do have those coming. But what we're gonna do is open up my order. I am really excited for these. They shipped very, very fast. They were at the Chicago Pen Show when I ordered these, and so they weren't shipping until they came back from the pen show. So I ordered on Friday. They came back from the pen show on Monday, and they shipped the next day, so Tuesday, and it was here on Thursday. So it was very, very fast to get to me. So in here, I have a little card. It's a certificate of authenticity with the little like holographic hand. I have some information about my plotter. and then some more information. This is about their leathers. So they do have 3 leathers, at least right now. They have 3 leather options that you can choose from. So they have the Liscio, the Pueblo. This says Pueblo, but on their website it says Pueblo. So I'm not sure which is correct, but the Pueblo and then the Shrink. There are differences in like the texture of all of those. Shrink is going to be a leather that doesn't scratch up as easily and is more like rugged and durable because it is genuine leather and it has like an embossing on it. So it reminds me more of something you'd get from like Dooney & Bourke or Coach or Kate Spade or something like that. Whereas the Pueblo and the Liscio, those are full grain leathers. One of them has a lot of unique texture to it. It has this like distressed brush effect on it, and then the Liscio is very, very smooth. So I ordered 2 different leathers. I ordered the Pueblo and I ordered the Liscio. And the mechanisms in them are in a different color depending on the leather. So we'll talk about that as well. It doesn't come in like a fancy bag, but it does come in this like, it's kind of fabric-y little sort of mesh bag. Look how pretty. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so this is the mini, and then I'm going to open up the other one, and then we'll look at them together, and then we'll do some size comparisons, and then we'll put the accessories in, but I'm not putting inserts in them because I still haven't printed them. Oh, I'm so in love. Same cards in this folder or in this box about my products and the authenticity card and all of that. Let me put that there. Okay, so if you get the Shrink leather, which is the genuine leather that has like an embossing on it that reminds me of like Coach and Kate Spade and all that kind of stuff, then your ring mechanisms and also the metal detail that holds the mechanism that's on the spine is silver. If you get the Pueblo leather, which is this one, it's going to be very, very distressed and not rough, but there's a texture to it that you can feel and you can also see. And the more you use this and the more you touch this, the sort of roughness and like the almost like a nap that's on it will actually smooth down. The color will darken with use and it will get super, super shiny and very, very smooth. So this is going to change the most over time, and it comes with gold for the metal accent on the side and then for the rings. Look how tiny these rings are. Oh, they're so awesome. And then the Liscio is very, very smooth. It has a nice smooth nap on the inside flesh, and it comes with rose gold and rose gold Krause rings. And you can see the Krause there on the rings. They all come with the 10mm rings, and then the one that's smaller than this, instead of having 6 rings, it has 5. And then each leather comes in a different set of color options. The most like funky, bright, unique colors are in that Shrink leather because it is a genuine leather and not a full grain leather. And in this one, I know it comes in a darker brown, and then it comes in this one. This one is the beige, and then I know it comes in 1 or 2 other colors. So it comes in a few different colors, and then this one also comes in other colors as well. This one is black, which we're going to talk about in a second, and then it comes in a brown color, it comes in a teal color, and it comes in like a burgundy wine color with the rose gold accents. So the reason that I ordered was for this one. This is the Bible size. The inserts that fit into this are personal size, and I really struggled with picking the color I wanted for this one. I knew that I wanted this one in the Liscio leather. I just really like the rose gold, and so I wanted this one to have the rose gold metal and the rose gold rings inside. But I went back and forth on color. I didn't want to get a brown one because pretty much all of my leather notebook covers are brown, so I didn't want it to be brown. I wanted it to be a little bit more special. And then I thought about getting the teal one, but I was afraid certain times of the year I really wouldn't be feeling the teal. And the burgundy or the wine color looks really pretty with the rose gold. So I kind of was waffling between black and the sort of burgundy wine color. But ultimately I decided to get black for a couple of reasons. One is that I don't actually own a lot of black leather notebooks or covers. It's just not something that I normally gravitate to, but I do think it is very classic. And that's kind of the reason that I went with it, because no matter what I put on the inside, if I added like a decorative piece to cover my functional inserts in here, like a decorative piece of paper or vellum or something, it would always go, because it's a black. It would be very classy and classic, and there was just something that felt right about having this planner be black, and I think that the rose gold is really pretty and striking against the black. So I went with black with this, and then I knew from the get that on this one I was going to get the beige, because I know that this will show the most change over time, kind of like a Chic Sparrow Emma. It's going to darken the most and get the most sheen, and I wanted that dramatic effect, and I do think that this color looks really pretty with that gold as well. So those are the two that I got and the size that I got them. This one doesn't really have a purpose. It would be just to throw in my purse. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to use it for. I do know that I'll probably put paper in it just for like shopping lists and random notes, and you know, if you come across a quote or a website you want to check and you don't have your planner with you, or you don't want to pull it out, stuff like that. I don't know if it's going to have some sort of like intended purpose, but I did want to get one and try it out, and I also wanted to see its size in comparison to my passport. So let's do that first. We're going to set this little guy up. So this is a passport trifolio from Sojourner. So this is one of my bigger passports. It's custom designed to fit the Create with Pen Chunky Passport notebook. I do have a video on these notebooks and this cover, but as you can see, it's very similar in size to my new little plotter mini. And if I took out, I was trying to see, I need to grab a passport, like a regular passport cover. This is one of the Paper Republic magnetic pen loops that I was talking about. So if I don't make a pen loop to go inside, I may just stick one of those on the back. But you can see that this is really similar to passport size. The inserts are going to be a little bit smaller. I'm going to pull this out. So the insert size are going to be this size. So slightly smaller than passport, but not too much smaller, and kind of the same shape dimension. So not any more rectangular or square, because it's about the same amount off of both sides. So it just seemed like a really good, happy size for me. Very similar to carry to my passport notebooks. I am going to take all this out real quick so we can set up the couple of accessories that I did get. These are just to protect it when it's being shipped, so that your rings don't make any sort of an indentation. So you don't have to keep these, but you can. On the back of them, all of them, it is stamped right there. And I think that the stamping is kind of the same lines as this, where it says planner, organizer, strategist, tools to make drawings and designs, methodology for thinking, those who change the context, tools for change makers. It's a little hard to read on here, especially in the light that I'm at right now, but I think it it says the same thing, tools for change makers. So it's the same words on the back there. This is really soft. Oh, and I did want to mention, these smell amazing. Like, this one is stronger in scent than this one, but they smell like you walked into a boot shop. They are absolutely beautiful. So I did buy the ring supporter, and on the back it does have instructions on what you're supposed to do, but I've already seen them in action because I have watched a couple of videos. Oops. So you close your rings, and then this just fits over your rings like that. And then you can see that it says plotter, and then when you close, it's protecting the exterior from the rings, just so that you don't get a noticeable indentation from your rings, which isn't like a huge deal, it's just aesthetics. But I thought it would be nice to have, just to make that slow down. I think you'll still at some point get an indentation, but it won't be quite so fast. So it just goes on there like that. So I bought that. And then I'm going to open my rings again. These rings are so small, they are adorable. And then I bought this ruler pad. and really just because I thought it would be nice to have the little tab at the top. I don't plan on putting a lot of dividers or anything in these because I am trying to keep them very slim and low profile and very, very functional. My word of the year this year is simplify, and although it may seem from my videos and some of the changes that I've made that I'm not simplifying, but that's actually why I've been making some changes, and that's why I'm switching to this system that I'm going to be doing for my social media planning, because I want to simplify some. Sometimes for me, simplifying doesn't mean getting rid of something. It means adding something or changing what I'm using for something. And then I bought the band lifter. So it has a map on that side, and then it has some like measurement stuff on that side. I'll never use that stuff, but I wanted this. And I probably can make something similar, but I wanted to buy them initially so I could kind of figure out how they work before I could decide how to make one for myself. But you can see it's like super, super thin and very flexible. So it won't add weight or bulk to your little planner. And these planners will hold about 80 pages in their paper. So this is designed by the company that owns Midori, so it is linked to the Midori products. And the paper that they use is similar to the Midori paper. So if you like Midori paper, it's very similar paper. It's not Tomoe River paper, but it is thin and very, very nice. And so the 80 page count that they give you, so the page count that they give you of how many pages fit in these, it's based off of that thin paper. So if you're using really, really thick like printer or copier paper, you may not be able to fit as much in here. But the way that the band lifter works is you put it, I guess you could put it anywhere, but to me you would put it in the back. But you put it in there and the band comes out the top, and then you just close it like that. So it's, the elastic is kind of split there, and it wraps around and it closes your notebook. Super functional. You can release it one-handed. Super easy to open and close your plotter. So that is my mini plotter. And for right now, I'm probably just going to put some like grid paper and lined paper in here until I have a little bit of a better idea of its purpose. I also want to wait until I get the other one so I can compare the size, and then also if I decide I want them to have separate purposes, I can decide which one gets which purpose. But that is my mini one that is basically passport size or pretty close to passport size. And I think this uses pocket size inserts. I'll know better when I print them, but I think that that's the size insert that would go in here. And then this is my Bible size. I am over the moon excited about this. Do you guys ever come up with a planner system or come up with an idea and you just know it's gonna work? Like you just know this is gonna be a good fit and this is gonna work for you, and it's just going to give you some like peace and calmness in your life. That's what this has done. And so I was so excited that they shipped so fast, because once I came up with the idea and I finally like bit the bullet and push ordered, I wanted it like immediately. And it came really, really fast, which was awesome. So I was really excited. So like I said, this holds personal size inserts, has the rose gold accents. I am gonna grab a traveler's notebook. I just wanna show you a size comparison real quick, and then we're gonna put my accessories in this one. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to do a size comparison with 3 things: B6 Slim, Weeks, and Standard. So we're going to start with B6 Slim. That's the size that it's closest to, which is one of the reasons that I knew this would be a good fit for me. I do really love a B6 Slim notebook and planner. I find these to be very, very portable and easy to fit in my bags, and this is roughly the same size. So I knew that this would be a good size for me. If I stack them on top of each other, you're going to see that it's a little bit smaller, so even easier to fit into my bags, but about the same like thickness when you hold it, because this feels like a thin folio or bound book. It really doesn't feel like a ring planner in my hand, which makes me really happy. So they're about the same thickness and about the same size. This one is from Sojourner, and it has a Jaboon inside of it from 2020. And then this is a Hobonichi Weeks size. This has a Kinbor notebook in it. It's just a plain notebook. I do have some videos on these, but this is a Chic Sparrow folio. And I wanted to show you the size difference there because this is smaller than a Weeks. It's about the same width, just like a smidge wider, but it is shorter. So if you love the Weeks size and you find this to be very, very portable, this would definitely be a good option for you if you were looking for some sort of like very functional, streamlined ring system for carrying around every day. And they are about the same like thickness there. Once again, they feel very similar in my hand, like holding them. They feel very similar in thickness, which I really, really like. You can hear my child in the other room. I apologize. I had to unbox these with you guys because I really want to get this set up and I'm really excited about it, so I didn't want to wait. And then this is a standard. This is from Sojourner. And I just wanted to show you that comparison as well. I'm actually missing an insert in here, so it's like a little bit squishy. But I wanted to show you guys so you guys could see. They're about the same width, but obviously much shorter, so much more portable. And this is actually thicker because this is a multi-strand, so it's a 4 elastic. If you had a single elastic, it would feel about the same as this. So I am going to go in more detail on this setup. Once I get it set up, I'm going to do like a flip through with you guys and kind of talk to you about the printables that I used, where I got them from, which ones were free, which ones I paid for, and all of that. So we will go through all of that together on a video. And I am actually going to do a video where I talk a little bit about my social media planner and kind of the struggle that I've been having and why I'm switching my system up. This may not be a permanent switch. I may at some point go back to the system that I'm using because I actually really do love the planner. It's just not fitting for what I need right now. And so I'm definitely like open to going back and forth, but I think that this is going to be what I need right now. But I will talk a little bit more about that. But this is basically going to be my very functional social media or brand planner. And so that is what we're going to set it up as, or I'm going to set it up as, and then we will check it out. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to add the ring supporter. So this is the Bible size. It works the same way. I'm just going to put it around the rings like that. And these, like I said, I think that this says Krause on the rings. The tiny one says Krause too. You can't see it now because I actually covered it up. I don't know about the M5 because I don't have one and I haven't checked, but I assume that they are as well. But for the Mini, the Bible, and the A5, they are Krause rings. So now we have our little protector to protect our leather. And then I only bought one accessory for this. I'm actually going to take some acetate that I have, and I think that's what I'm going to use to make my own dividers, partly because I already have it and I'm trying to do this in the least expensive way as possible. Well, say that, but this was a very expensive binder, so this was not an inexpensive investment, but I don't want to spend all my money on the guts. I wanted to spend it on the beautiful leather cover and the beautiful perfect rings and all of that. So I am going to make my own like tabs and dividers and all that kind of thing and figure something out myself for the pen loop, like I said. But I did buy the band lifter because this is just something I know I need, something to keep it closed. And I didn't want to try to design something on my own until I had kind of seen that there's an action. And I wanted one that was, you know, perfect and ready. So it's the same as the other one. They're all identical, so even the A5. They look just like this, and you just put it on your rings. I mean, look how tiny these rings are. Aren't they adorable? I really like this. Like I said, like if you watched videos where I've talked about rings or seen comments from me, I'm really not a ring girl. Like I did like it when I was using a ring planner, but it was never right because it was just so chunky. As much as I really love looking at everyone else's rings, especially like a VDS ring planner, oh, I swoon when I see people grab it and hold it and open it and flip through it and all the things. But I know I don't like those rings, like that chunkiness. And I also know that I don't need all of that in any planner that I would put in a ring planner. I like a bound planner for the things that where I need that many pages. And I like a disc bound planner like for our home planner. And so I knew I didn't need that much chunk. But I do think that this is going, I mean, like, look, it's like perfect. It just feels so good to hold. It feels the same as holding a little bound book. And I love that. I love that feel. It's kind of very similar to holding a spiral notebook, which I also love, or holding like a composition notebook. Those things give me joy, just the way it feels in my hand. And this just feels awesome. I am so excited. Now I will say the rose gold on here, I do know that they talk about it on the website. It's like a plating or a finish on it. It may scratch off over time. It's just part of owning and loving a planner. So I do know that this may get dinged up over time, and I'm okay with that. I do know that this is full grain leather. It is going to scratch. It's going to get marks. It's going to change over time. Not as much as this one will, but it will. And that's one of the reasons that I love leather. It's something that I embrace about my leather covers, and I'm just really excited for it. But those are my two plotter notebooks, binders, notebooks. I guess they're called binders. I think it's a binder. Anyways, it's going to be my very, very functional social media brand planner in here. And then this is going to be, oh, I don't know what this is going to be. On the go notes, mostly, is what this is going to be. Not my wallet or anything like that. Just basically a little notebook to have. But those are my two plotter notebooks. Like I said, I do have another video coming as soon as it gets here from another brand that sells something similar, because I wanted to get the A5 size from them. It came in a different leather. I wanted to check that out, and I also wanted to do a comparison and show you how they are different and the same from the plotter. But those are my plotters. I don't know if you guys have heard about these, if you guys have seen these. I've been really swooning over them ever since I first saw them posted on Instagram, and then really in the last year or year and a half, I've been really itching to get one, but I held off because I wanted it to be the right time, and it is the right time, and I'm really excited. So that's what I bought. Those are my accessories. Like I said, I do have some extra accessories for covers that are coming from Etsy. I wanted to go ahead and buy them. That way I could take advantage of the free shipping and just get everything all at once. But that is my unboxing and my share of the plotter binders, how the system works, the sizes, the size comparisons, the leathers, all of the things. I will be coming back and doing a video showing you guys the setup, like a flip through video of this one once it's set up. I'll probably share this one at the same time just so you guys can see what I'm using, because I'm going to be using a lot of freebies. I definitely want to give a shout out to all the shops that offer such amazing freebies for us so that we don't have to spend a lot of money to set up our planners. And I use those freebies in bound planners a lot too, or journals. I print them and I glue them in, especially when I was doing a bullet journal. So they're useful whether you use a disc bound, a ring bound, a TN, or even a bound planner. I find those free printables to be awesome. So I definitely want to share those with you guys. But that's my video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.